first, basically they're very cute, and on top of this, the play of light, the colors, and their emotions kind of touch your soul. That is the connection you expect from it. So I'm not sure if I answer your question, but if you ask me any favorite place I like or any favorite image I like, it's quite difficult for me to say. For me, it's all moments, and there is always a bunch to follow that. And guys, please call me Nisha rather than this ma'am. That makes me feel so odd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much for the answer. And I missed out one question from Vignesh Kumar.
Okay.
It's quite technical. What will be the maximum ISO we can aim to get a good picture on the wild?
Depends on your camera. See, if you're using a high-end camera, definitely. If you're talking, I have used Nikon, Canon, and Sony. I haven't used any other brands. Nikon, Canon, and Sony, high-end brands, you can go up to 6,000. In certain cases, up to 10,000, and in occasions we have gone up to 20,000. But I don't say that 20,000 images if you're not taking it as a like an artistic way or anything like that, you may not be able to get it without grain. But up to 6,000, 3,000 to 6,000 ISO, yes, you can. But if it is daytime, if there is enough light, then I try to keep it like 100 to 100. The less noise, the image is always that patch free. Using a mid-range cameras, I think up to 1,600 these days, it should be fine. And what I do, if it is during evenings, I keep ISO completely manual. But if it is a crazy day, then we keep a cap like 3,000 or 2,800 as a cap, so that it doesn't go beyond that.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question from Sri Darshini. Which is the best season to get into forest?
Depends on which forest you are going to look for. See, I love to shoot in rain, but people, it is not easy. First of all, you get drenched, your camera get wet, you get stuck in the vehicle, your vehicle get jammed, but you don't see much animals. But that the kind of sporting you make and this kind of actions you can get in the rain, you can get only in the rain. So every season's got its own plus and minus. And hot season, if you are standing next to a waterhole, there is always possibility for getting more what do you call more species. But then the background will be dry, it will be yellowish. Usually the subject is yellowish, so the uh, in the early mornings it's nice, but during the daytime everything look yellow. So I prefer rainy season. I prefer to shoot in the rain. So, but it's all a personal choice.
Thank you, ma'am. And we can go for some more questions, I guess. It's almost around the time. Next, the question from Kavi Nila. Ma'am, when you first got into this field, what were the major problems and issues faced by you as a woman? I added.
I mean, it's still a major problem. I mean, convincing my family was definitely a task. As I mentioned, I'm coming from a very, very strict background. So that was definitely a task. And whenever I'm traveling, most of our clients are men. We hardly get to see girls like you joining us. The problem will be same as mine, parents not letting, or if you're married, then your husband not letting you to go. So women clients, it's not that frequent for us. So when I started this as a career, my parents had a major concern. You're traveling with people whom I don't even know into the wild. How safe are you? My answer was only this: we are coming from a country where, women getting abused is not that rare sequence. Even in a public transportation system, women are not safe. So that kind of safety measurement, it's there always. It's a major concern, but thankfully I didn't had major issues so far. And being in the wild, the good part is you're you're staying in a resort, and you are always in the vehicle. You have at least one person whom you feel bit more. Your guide can be a good trust person. Your hotel team can be a good trust person. But the challenge is convincing family, and people do talk rubbish, and not listening to the rubbish. Whenever, see, that happens in every field, as I mentioned once again. You get into any field, people do gossip, people do talk good as well as bad. You need, when you get a lot of good, you need to expect that people do talk nonsense too. So be bold, have the ability to get things from this year and just flush it through the next year. Don't keep it in your heart and cry, because I used to do that in the beginning. Now if I hear some rumors about me, I say, oh, that's all, that's it. You should be able to take it in that kind of spirit. And physically, you really need to be fit, because the cameras which we use are like, if I'm going to show you this. So this is a like an what do you call it? It's a 400 mm 2.8. When you put the hood, it is like half of my size. I'm only 5 feet 2 inches, so this 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 one is like around almost 3.8 kg, along with the camera, which is again 1.5 kgs. So this one, along with this, along the hood. And if you're going for a bird trip, then another, what do you call, you have a tripod which will be another 1.5 kg. So you need to carry all these things and walk. So my physical, I'm a vegetarian, and my physical routine, I try to do at least once in a possible ways, as like 40 minutes yoga and half an hour to 1 hour walk is definitely good. Be fit, it's very, very important.
Shaman, thank you for showing all those pretty things. And we'll go for last three questions. Request from Revant, Protractor Revant. He asking for unmuting. Revant, you can
Yes,
proceed.
I can speak.
You can proceed, Revant. Yes, you're audible.
Ma'am, I have two questions for you.
I can't hear you, dear.
I have two questions for you, ma'am. I'm audible?
Yes, please. I'm good, dear. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. And I have two questions for you. Who inspired you to become a wildlife photographer, ma'am?
To become a wildlife photographer, I think I cannot say just one name, because the names which I have, I think the first thing, as I mentioned, as a child, I used to see a lot of National Geography and I used to travel a lot. So that was definitely my first inspiration. Nat Geo as a channel, I must say that that was definitely the first inspiration. And when I got more into it, from India, if you're talking about Kalyan Verma, Sudhi Shivram, Dhritiman Mukherjee, Ratika Ramaswamy, there are people, the list is too huge, dear. And from internationally, Stefano, uh, uh, I mean, if you ask me the names, it's going to be 100, 200, 300, or more than that. Thousands of people, because the good images and the people behind that and their stories definitely influenced me to do something in this line. But beyond that, my thirst to be in the wild is the first thing. And the second thing, I see a lot of rubbish in the wild, so wanted to do something to do from my side to protect these species in my own
Okay, ma'am.
way.
That was good, ma'am. The list was so long. And second thing, the very first peak you took, and you feel proud that I'm a wildlife photographer and I'm satisfied with this peak.
I don't
Can you show the peak, or can you explain the moment?
see, there are, I very first pick, I definitely cannot remember. See, if you ask me if I'm satisfied with anything, I have some memorable moments, but the very first is quite difficult. And again, that was a fluke image, in fact, which gave me a pretty good break. It was from, I don't think I have it in this presentation. It was a Brahmini kite and a snake in the picture. the story I can tell you, I got this 600 mm. I was shooting I was in India that time. I was shooting next to a water body. My dream was to see this Brahmini kite getting hold of a fish or a small duck. I heard that this can happen, so I was waiting for that. And I saw this kite. It was a juvenile. It kind of flew down in front of me and got up with something. So my whole thing in my head, it is either a fish or a duck. But through the camera, I saw it for a fraction of a second. It was a snake. And I got my heart like, it's stopped for a moment. I didn't know what to do. So I lost that, while it was holding. But thankfully, I managed to get my sense back and got this snake kind of halfway down, looking up, and the juvenile looking down. It was in 2013, I believe, 13 or 14. That was my first acceptance or first picture to go in Wildlife Photographer of the Year final. So that is one image which I think I can remember. Otherwise, it's again not about favorite deer, because that change according to the time, and keeping what is the first picture and all, I have absolutely no idea. I remember me taking pictures from even as a child whenever we go out in the wild.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, great. One last chance to Rotaractor Vignesh Kumar. I guess he asked one mute. If you are here, you can ask. Vignesh, are you here?
Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes,
Ma'am, do you do some post processing work after the shoot?
Because
I saw in a photo in that the subject is too the subject was lighted, the other side was blurred, the other side was little darker. Do you use external flashes for that?
No,
like
I
this
don't.
concave.
I don't use flash. I do only basic editing. Like see, it depends on where you are, how you control your light, and is there any element in this. If you're taking this particular picture right now.
Sorry, please mute yourself.
So if you're taking this particular image itself, there is absolutely nothing other than the basic correction. But you may feel like I have given extra light in the center. The difference was this was facing the sunset. There was rain. So the light was reflecting on an yellow element. Naturally, it reflects more. When it is green, it absorbs little more. So that is the difference what you see in the frame. I definitely do basic editing, but not beyond the point, and no adding superficial lights or neither removing anything from the picture. And I use Lightroom.
Thank you, ma'am.
So now I have some request to all of you who is here. As we do this, as you are listening to me, we kind of, as I mentioned, we have a webinars going on every week. It starts at the same time on every Wednesdays and every Saturdays. So if you have time, if you are interested to learn more from experts from across the world, you can check our YouTube channel. That is Postrails, PAWSTRAILS, postrails.com/ youtube.com/postrails official. So please do follow us and support us. That is a big help. And in case if you have some good stories and images, you can share it with me through my Instagram or through our website, which is postrails.com. We can add it in our magazines, which we publish in every month. So let's do something together to spread some awareness rather than just photography.
Sure, ma'am. We'll reach out to you for the further days. We'll do some joint projects. We'll do some awareness projects in future.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time. We are so happy with the pictures, with your pictures, and you'll be keep staying in our mind, ma'am. And thank you for all the participants, all the road and non-road who have joined us with the session, and for making this session more wonderful. And I would like to specially thank Rotractor Surinder from Rotary Club of Coimbatore Unique, that is a club, for arranging such beautiful session, for reaching you out, ma'am. He's very interested, and
he was kind of throughout with me. Ma'am, you need to go do this. Ma'am, you need to do 15 minutes introduction. Do this, do this, do this. And he was always there all through all. I think since a week or 2 weeks, he is like, ma'am, you're coming right. You're doing this right. You're doing that right. He was really a supportive person. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And that's all from our side. Ma'am's Instagram ID have been shared in the chat box. You can reach out her, and there are some YouTube videos of her I have saw it this evening. So people, you can reach out her in the social medias. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all the road tractors and non-road tractors for joining us in the session, and all other RI district participants, and also thank you everyone.
Dear participants, before leaving this session, please fill the Google form that I posted in the chat box, and also ma'am's YouTube channel link also posted in the chat box.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can use that to follow the channel. Thank you so much, ma'am, and we are all enjoying this session.
Thank you. So, see, it's all about connecting with young people like you, and you guys need to do something. It's not about just seeing it and taking photography. You need to see how you can connect and how you can spread awareness, even if it is starting from your home. That's very, very important.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. I know this has gone way beyond the time what we were thinking about. It's too late for you guys. So thank you so much once again. For me, it's daytime. I'm starting my day. So shall I take a leave on that note?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, dear.
Guys, please fill the Google form before you leave, so that we can reach you for the further sessions.